Wait a minute. Let me see if I can hold this thing up. I'm just doing this. I'm like somebody gonna come. What the? What in the world is Clarence doing? I might turn around and shave myself like that one day. Like get me. I might do it later on today. Like take this camera and do it and do that. Yeah. But anyway, man, I got something that I want to talk about. My life, being to myself. Y'all notice that when I do videos, I'm always most of the time I'm by myself doing videos, you know. And then I want to tell y'all a little bit about it. And this video is just about me transitioning. You know what I'm saying? Transition. I hope this be the best video that I've ever made. Let me see. Let me try something a bit different. Hold on. Let me try something a bit different. Uh, I'm gonna put this there, and let's see here. I guess this has to be wrapped around. But anyway, I'll just sit that on. Yeah, I sit it like that. Good evening. How y'all doing today? Um, First and foremost, my nickname is Peter. That's my real nickname. My first name, I was named after my father. Um, his name was Clarence Ray, and my name is Clarence Ray. But you know, we just get those names at birth from being born in America. You know, but I had a few people to tell me that they like the name Peter better, which I do too. I think I do too. I mean, not I think, I know I do. My life, I ended up, I guess, y'all notice that when I do videos, like I was saying earlier, is that I'm to myself most of the time. I think I'm more to myself because, for one, I believe I was conditioned this way through the circumstances living in America, and I'm not the only one because everybody's going through something. But the video, I guess, is more so it relates to everybody, but everybody have their struggles in their own way. I have a bad temper. You see what I'm saying? And right now, I'm trying to prepare myself because I don't really know how to actually deal with the public right now. The best thing for me is like I'm on YouTube and I've been doing videos and stuff. I do better interacting with people here. You know, if it wasn't for the social media, I probably wouldn't. You know what I mean. I don't get a chance to be around. The only people that I've been around most is my mother. My father, he died when I was 89. I mean, excuse me, not when in the year 89 is what I was trying to say. He died in the year 89, and I was 15 at the time. I'm 47 now. So you do the calculation on that. That's been, I'm gonna say over 20 years, 27, 28 years, I don't know. But anyway, I didn't have my father in my life. I lived in a single parent house all my life. Is just like most of you so-called African Americans. You know what I mean? And my father, he lived in America. He was born and raised in America. You know, he's from Slidell, Louisiana. Um, so with me, I'm just giving y'all some background about my life. I came up to where I couldn't read or write. It affected me in a lot of other ways. I don't know if that was the reason why that I ended up. I don't know. It's just things that it just ended up. To me, it just started off left. I didn't like the life that I ended up living. I feel like I lived a whole life and missed out on a whole lot. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about what I'm saying, because it ain't been easy. You know what I mean? You're trying to deal with certain people. I'm trying to get out that mode now to where uh, it's hard for me is to do business with certain people, because because I want to add some other stuff in that I've been dealing with that I want to share with you all. When I was in my early 30s, this is when I started actually looking for a girlfriend or somebody to make my wife or whatever, make my, you know what I mean, a companionship. And for the most of, throughout all of my whole process of 30s, I got rejected, rejection, rejected after rejection. Most of it was rejection. I began to didn't know why. I began to maybe I thought something was wrong with me. You know what I mean? And then I said, I don't know, all kind of weird thoughts were just going through my head. You know, you thought, is you a curse? You know what I mean? What something ain't right? You know what I mean? And you know that you do the best that you can. You try to live right. You know what I mean? You try to do the right thing. You do everything in your power and trying to just treat people the way that you want to be treated. You want to step out of the rim, and you really want to be this person that's just not all bottled down and closed up and closed minded and everything. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person, I love to read also. You know what I mean? I love reading. I don't know where in the hell that come from, but I just love doing it. One of the main things that I read one of the first things that I learned how to read was the Bible. Yes, I grew up and I was in a special class. I wasn't in a normal, regular class like the other regular students. So I had to learn how to read and do my pronunciation through my family members at home, because back then I didn't know what it meant. I didn't even know the importance of education. So I had to get help from my nephews and my niece, my mother. I had to ask them to put stuff on tape for me, so that I can sit there and listen to it. You see what I'm saying? In order to be, you know what I mean? So that it would help me be able to interact with people in life and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I was in something called, I was thrown away in school, like special ed. You know what I mean? And I just felt like I was basically just thrown away in school. You see what I'm saying? And my pronunciation was bad. I had a problem trying to interact with people in the way that I actually could suppose I had to. I felt like, to me, it wasn't a regular normal life. You know what I mean? Because I was in my head, I'm thinking that it seems like, damn, I want to be like, shit, why can't I be like this average person? Why can't I be like my other brother, my sister? You know what I mean? They didn't go through that like I did. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about you dealing with all of that in one. That within itself was a lot. You see what I'm saying? But somehow I managed to make it through it. I managed to make it through it. But I don't, tell you the truth, I don't see how in the hell I actually did it. I don't see how in the fuck I really did it. But I did it. You see what I'm saying? But I knew it had to be through the grace of the Most High God that I actually came through it. You know what I'm saying? And I basically just had a embarrassing, when I would talk to people, try to interact with people, I felt that I wasn't on a certain level of education. And I was thinking, I'm dealing with all of that in one. You see what I'm saying? Dealing with trying to interact with people, certain people, you know what I mean? So I just felt like it all kind of shit was just running through my head. Like, well, you know what? Maybe they are better than me, Those were struggles that I was dealing with. You see what I'm saying? And I was dealing with a lot of shit that within itself, you know what I mean? And I came a long ways, and I'm doing great now. I'm doing great with my pronunciation, pronouncing, and breaking words down into syllables and things of that nature. As far as reading the Bible, I love reading the Bible. I love reading biblical history. You know what I mean? That's what I always have been into, been into my whole life. You see what I'm saying? I really didn't get a chance to know my father. What I seen him once. I think when I saw him, me and my brothers, when we last saw him, it was like the last years of his life, and he was like 43. And we was kids. You know what I mean? So he was dying of lung cancer. You see what I'm saying? He was dying of lung cancer. So we didn't know what it was like, and still don't even know what it's like to get advice from a father or dad or whatever you want to call it. We didn't know what that was. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that the only kind of experience that I have is being separated from my brothers, being in jail, in and out of jail. One got on drugs and the different things of that nature. This and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? The other one went to prison for some stuff that he didn't even do. You know what I mean? It's just was hard on my mother. I guess being a single parent, trying to raise us in the right direction. We still went off. You know what I mean? And you know, it just things just went from there. You know what I mean? And I never owned transportation, my own transportation. I never owned my own home. I lived with my mother my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Still is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So struggling, trying to figure out which steps I can take, you know what I mean, is to get to where I need to be in life. Hopefully I can, you know what I mean, get to that point to where I can actually live the life that I wanted to live. And that's the purpose of me creating this account. The name of the channel that y'all see, that's me. That's what I'm all about. I came from my father's end. They was generous, good, genuine, good people. You know, like as far as like doing nice things for people, they was very loving people. From to my knowledge, you know what I mean. And they were, you know. So I didn't get a chance to ask them nothing about their family history and all that kind of stuff. All I was told was Creole. You know what I mean, Creole and this and that and the third, and you know what I mean. And I began to look off into Creole and to see what it actually meant. Creole just means a race mix of people. You see what I'm saying? People of color. You know what I mean? This, you know what I mean? When they came over, when the, you know what I mean, when the people, Christopher, the French man came over here and raped the Native Americans and all that kind of stuff, and then it just, you know what I'm saying? It's just all of the other stuff came into play, and then I didn't get a chance to ask them very much about the family history. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's just been pretty tough. You know what I mean? And got into trouble. You know, stealing and all that kind of stuff. Out of my two brothers, I was the worst one of them. You know what I mean? You're like, damn, what you used to do? Just stealing and stuff, getting mischievous and rebellious and stuff like that, getting into stuff and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I was just rebellious. You know what I mean? And I changed at 13, and I feel like I still had a struggle. You know what I mean? I came into a church called the Seventh-day Adventist Church. That's when I got into religion, and but I got out of it. And I started questioning the names in the Bible, because there are 18 tribes or nations of people in the Bible, and each one of them got a different judgment. And God is only dealing with one nation of people. You know what I mean? So I got off into all of that, and I started looking up into more into those things. You see what I'm saying? You know, and from there, it also, as I'm still living in the process of it now, living in a neighborhood, you want to do things that the other nations can do, because you ask that question, why is it that the other nations, they can do this and that, and I can't do it? You know what I mean? Why is it that we are struggling and poor and all that kind of stuff, and we're going through this and we're going through that? You never got a chance to see your own brother. You know what I'm saying? And my baby brother, there was some stuff that went down, and he ended up losing his life in the streets to some people. It was just to make the long story short, it was based up on probably some kind of drugs or something like that. or some money, you know what I mean? He was murdered over some money by another person, and another brother in the community, and things like that. I don't know the whole full story behind it, but I'm just giving you that little leap right there. Now, if you want to know more of the information, just meet me on my other channel, the Hebrew Brothers channel, and I'll talk more about that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna say as much as possible, as much as I could here. But like I said, I couldn't read or write, but I learned how to read and write through my family members and my sister, my mother, and my brothers and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I would ask them, you know, whenever they got time, and when they was in my presence, that was an opportunity for me to learn something new. You know, so that's how I actually learned how to read and write, read different things that I'm reading now. You know what I mean? Can you imagine just not having the education enough, of not knowing how to spell, not knowing how to fill out an application for yourself, different things of that nature, you name it, I done did that. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's probably why I talk about what the things I want to do for my people. So what I'm trying to do, I want to just take the opportunity is to move up and go into a different direction, move into the next phase, and just do a little bit better for myself. You know what I mean? What else I want to add to this here? What else? Because I don't want to get off track. I don't want to sound odd and stupid. You know what I mean? But I want to make the best of this video. You know what I mean? So this video is just only for educational purposes. You see what I'm saying? So even now, I'm struggling with being shy. You know, I don't, you know, trying to learn how to interact with family members and different things of that nature. Struggling with the temper. I have a bad temper to a degree, to a certain extent. You can get on my bad side, and then I flip, you know, and then I go off, and you know, and I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to be the best that I can be, or know how to handle a situation when it occurs. You know what I mean? So with that, you know, with that being said, you know what I mean, I acknowledge that I do need help in that area. You know what I mean? And that's probably why I have not been as interacting with people in the streets as I am right now. You know what I mean? I would say that my brother, I have a brother that's under me. By him being in the jail system and stuff and things and so on and so forth, he learned how to develop a good sense of human. It was in him naturally, but by him being around different people in that, you know what I mean? And over the years and over the course of years, you see what I'm saying? It probably taught him how to deal with different personalities. So when it comes to different personality, he can deal with different personalities better than I can. You know what I mean? But I would love to get there. Don't get me wrong. I would love to get there, but I'm not there yet. You see what I'm saying? And maybe these are some of the reasons why that he haven't put a certain type of woman in my life. You see what I'm saying? Because maybe he felt like if he probably would have gave it to me back then and right away, I probably would have ended up losing. I don't know. I'm just making up something. I don't know. Pretty much that's probably, you know what I mean? Only he knows the future, and he knows better than I do. You see what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. I don't really know, because I don't know everything, because I'm not God. You see what I'm saying? So you know, just learning and knowing how to just deal with different personalities, and knowing how to take certain things without getting emotional about it. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like when I get mad, I get real emotional about it. You know what I mean? The emotions in me start rising up. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why maybe that's why, probably why the Most High don't put certain things or give you certain things right away, because he feels like, nah, son, you asking for this here, you asking for that, you asking for that, but you're not ready yet. And I'm sitting up there like, I am ready. And he's saying, no, you're not ready yet. Maybe that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to get myself involved in something and knowing I'm not really ready for it. You see what I'm saying? I may think I'm ready, but he may say, nah, you're not ready yet. The way I think and the way the Most High think, is totally different. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? And I don't mind admitting my wrong. I don't mind saying, you know, hey, look. Sometimes people say the truth hurt, but the truth don't hurt. It only hurts when we don't want to actually do it. You see what I'm saying? Because our nature, the flesh, don't want it. The flesh hates right, but the spirit of you is willing. You know what I mean? Just like the Apostle Paul in the Bible. Many of y'all know that story about the Apostle Paul in the New Testament in Acts. How he talked about how he was killing Christians. He was a murderer. You see what I'm saying? But God, the Most High, came into his life and changed him and blinded his eyes and knocked him off his horse, knocked him off his high horses. And he was blind for 3 days. You see what I'm saying? And then when he got converted, and that was in 3 days after he was baptized, I mean, he was washed in his mind by the word of God. You know, things of that nature. He started loving the people. And then they put Paul and the Romans locked him up, put him in prison because he was speaking out against the Romans. You know what I mean? That was right after he became from under the doctrines and the slave mentality of the Greeks. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High ended up just changing him in that way. So I feel like we all don't have the same struggle. We all got different struggles in our life. You know what I mean? I think another thing that I struggle with, if somebody is not treating me genuine, if they're not genuine toward me, and I'm like, well, what the fuck should I be genuine toward them? They ain't being genuine toward me. So I'm not going to be genuine toward a motherfucker that's not going to be genuine toward me. That's my mindset right now. I tell my family that all the time. They don't like to hear me talk like that. But I said, you know, I can't help it how I'm feeling. Maybe I'm in my feelings, you know what I mean? And when I'm looking at somebody and I see they don't want to be bothered, then it puts me in a mode, I don't want to be bothered with you neither. That's how I feel. I'm like, why would I want to give my service and my time to somebody who doesn't value me? It doesn't make any sense. That's like, you don't want to be bothered with me, right? Why do I want to sit up there and just beg? Like, I feel like I'm begging for you to be part of me. No, I don't need to do that. No, that's not right. Like, that's like taking a big old 18-wheeler tire, a 20-inch 18-wheeler tire, and trying to put it on a car that only takes a 4 or 5-inch tire on a little small car. And you trying to put a big 20-inch 18-wheeler tire on 3 small tires, and you have 1 big. It won't fit. So why make something fit that don't fit? So I've been having a problem. I do have a problem with getting along with a lot of people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Interacting with people, because I really realize that everybody is not on the same page and they're not on the same level. And when they're not on the same level or on the same page as me, then I go, if they have their own thoughts about whatever, and I'm saying, hey, look, I can give you the facts, and they telling me those are not facts, then it's like, in my mind, it's going to be a fucking problem. So that's where my family members, they tell me, my mother and other people, that's where they step in and say, you got to learn how to use wisdom, which I do. I know I do. But you got to learn how to use wisdom and knowledge on how to know how to deal with all kinds of people, because you're going to run into all kinds of people and things ain't going to be just the way you want it. They'll tell me things like, my mother told me things like this here. She'll say, now, I'm not going to always be around you. You got to learn how to deal with certain things in certain situations. You know what I mean? You know, because I said, well, I'm not dependent on it. That's my purpose. I'm not trying to depend upon anyone. I guess that was a rebellious response at that point. You know what I mean? But I think about it, you know what I mean? And I know they're right. And I know that, you know, that I'm going to have to some kind of way. And I'm going to say it like this. It's not easy. It has not been easy. My life has not been easy at all. It looks like it. Maybe you may look at me and you probably saying, yes, it was. You had it all good. But on the inside, I had it hard, just like the rest of them. I might not been in no regular jail like my brothers, or in prison like them, or whatever. But we all if you take all these struggles, we all have the same struggles as the so-called Negro. We just got different struggles. We all still came from the hood. Just because you on dope and you on drugs and you've been in and out of jail and you know how to swindle people out their money, and I can't do it, but I still got to struggle. We all, at the end of the day, we got different struggles, but we can relate because we from the same place. We just have different struggles. You may be on the west side, or you may have a problem with drugs or whatever. I probably got a problem with food addiction, just trying to get along with people in general. That's a bad drug. You know what I mean? By me saying that it's hard for me to get along with certain people or whatever, and then when people don't, when I realize that we're not on the same page, then I tend to turn into a lion. You know what I mean? So that's my drug addiction. But it's a mental and emotional drug addiction, because I do get mad and I do get emotional real quick. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's probably from not having a father in my life, and I'm willing to admit it. I believe it is. When you're raised by a single mother and you only one-sided with everything or whatever, they say that has a lot to do with it. Maybe it does, you know what I mean? But I do know that I tend to get real mad and emotional real quick, and I'm ready to protect, you know what I mean? All I see is somebody do something against my family members or something like that. It's like I'm ready to go at it. I'm ready to, like, I'm just ready to go at it. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes maybe I can misjudge people. I get overwhelmed, and I just need my family to tell me basically what you need to do is just learn temperance, learn how to use wisdom. Because if you don't, my mother always told me like this: you're gonna wind up in jail, you're gonna wind up in prison, or you're gonna wind up this and that and the third. You see what I'm saying? That's what she tell me all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why would they say that? Like, it's like almost like, and in my mind, in that moment, I'm like, is they wishing bad luck upon me or something? Like, damn, like, is they doing? But that's just my thoughts, because in that moment, I'm caught up in my emotions at that moment. You know what I mean? It's like when you caught up in emotion, in your emotions, and you're not really caught up in your logic, and you're not thinking logically, you ain't trying to negotiate, and you ain't trying to hear that. That's like if like I was in a situation just a couple of days ago, probably about 2 or 3 days ago, and I talked about how the black man be watched and oppressed in America. And then the other person just said, well, the person just doing their job. When they said that, that pissed me off. And so I ended up going in on that person. So my family members saw me do that, and they actually got mad at me themselves. They got mad because I choose not to handle it in a wise way. I could have been like, well, okay, that's your opinion. They wanted me to say the best thing for you to do, you can't make people accept what you're saying. Just don't argue with them, which is not easy for me to do. You know what I mean? Because I was telling them like this here. If you come along and you disrespect, you know what I mean, this and that and the third, or what family members does and this and that and the third, then you're gonna get totally disrespected. If you're in my presence, you're gonna get disrespected. Now, I'm not trying to make it about that, but overall, I went through a whole bad. I'm not trying to make it bigger than what it is, but you know what I'm saying. It's like I'm struggling with trying to learn how to interact with different people. You see what I'm saying? And I guess I'm just trying to be a better person to the best of my ability. I don't have all of the eloquent under words that I can use to actually help me in life or whatever, So what I'm very open-minded. I do listen, and I do try to listen to the right people. You can't just listen to anybody, because everybody ain't gonna give you the right advice. And I'm in my 40s, I'm 47 years old, still asking for advice. You see what I'm saying? I'm 47 years old, and I'm still asking for advice, because You're never too old to learn. You're never too young to learn. You're never too old. Just like they say, you're never too young to die, and you're never too old to die neither. Judgment can meet you at any time. Judgment, you can die in the womb. You don't have to be a certain age. So going through the process of learning how to read and not knowing how to read and write, not knowing how to read and write. I couldn't even interact with people, with the regular kids properly in the school. You see what I'm saying? I was shy. And then I actually was embarrassed or scared to actually get into a conversation with some of the kids because I was afraid that I was not going to meet those qualifications as far as the interaction or the communication. You know what I mean? Or as actually being articulate. I didn't know what that was back then, but speaking correctly or being very articulate, you know what I mean? I was afraid of messing up. And if I messed up, they wasn't gonna look at me the same. So I had to get in the crowd and act like everything, what I was dealing with didn't exist, when actually it does. When I go to speaking or when I go to talking or something, then they'll know right away. Either if they ask me to spell a word or what this is, or if it get down to this and that in the third or math or whatever, then I wasn't as good at it. Then I was afraid, I guess, I don't know, of being looked at a certain way, being embarrassed, like they was going to make fun of me or something like that, or say that, oh, you slow, this and that and the third. And I didn't want them. I didn't want to be looked at as being a slow learner. You know what I mean? What I would do, I would pretend and actually try to fit in with the other kids and try to just act like I was normal, like all the other kids and stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of mindset that I had. You know what I mean? And even to this day, like now, I done came a long ways compared to if you would have met me like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I would have been embarrassed to get on camera and talk. It ain't no way in the world you would have been able to pay me. You couldn't have paid me just to get on here and tell you that I had a reading problem. I couldn't read or write. None of that. There wasn't no way in the world it was going down like that. And when my mother would mention or say something like that, it would make me feel embarrassed, because just imagine, you didn't want people to look at you and view you differently. And that's how I felt. Hold on, excuse me a minute. Okay, yeah, you didn't want people to actually view you, or look at you. I didn't want to be seen as different, or somebody just look at me and like, oh, he's different from us. We are more intellect, or he's not on that intellectual level. He is a slow learner and his understanding is off, and he don't have the sense enough is to comprehend on the same level that we knows how to comprehend. You know, all kind of different shit was just going through my head. You see what I'm saying? Like that. And because I didn't want to feel that way, I would have to act like and pretend and just try to speak on their level, or try to call myself trying to speak on their level and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But no matter how I tried, it would always, there's a certain way that you can talk that people can actually tell that there's a slightness in your learning. They know that you're not somewhere. Some type of skill is like it's not. You don't have this. You didn't practice this skill, or you don't have this skill of knowing how to actually communicate properly with people. You see what I'm saying? So I dealt with all of that, even with not knowing how to read and write. It was embarrassing for me. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to feel like that. So because I didn't want to feel like that, it would frustrate me sometimes to the point to where it had me kind of like almost in tears, but I held it out though. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to learn, and I had an eagerness to learn. You see what I'm saying? Because I just did. So I managed to overcome it, and I pretty much can like I can read mail now. You know, I can go out there, go to the mailbox, and I can get mail, and I can pretty much read the mail. Some of the words or the names I have to kind of like break it down, but I end up still managing to be able to. I can tell mail, my mail, our mail from anybody, any of the other neighbors' mail. You know what I mean? Because they have the apartment numbers and stuff on every household has a different box and a different number and a different like a different letter on the door. A, B, C, and D or whatever. C, oh, this is for C, and this is so and so R Joseph or something like that. I'm just making up something. So what I do, I just learn, I just try to just break the words down in syllables. Like all the words that I learned how to like spell, and the best way is to spell them good is through the vowel sounds. A-E-I-O-U. You see, you know what I mean? I learned that in school. Now that's one good thing that I learned in school. The vowel sounds. A-E-I-O-U. The A is ah, I mean ah, and the E is I, the I sound, and the I sound would be or something like it. I think something like that. It. The O sound is ah, ah, ah. The R would be the O sound, and the U would be y, yeah, like that, something like that. So once you know, like when I even when I'm reading words in the Bible now, what I do is I just look for the like no matter some of the words is kind of hard, but when I look at the I sound, Mamaria, that's a person's name in the Bible. You know, the tribe from the tribe of Levi, I believe it's a Levite tribe. You know, family. It's a Hebrew name. You know what I mean? M-A-R-I. I think I have my vowel sound mixed up, but the Mary, it's got the the R in it. The the R sound, and then it got Mary, and then you hear the I. Like I think I said, I think I might have got them kind of crossed up. The I sound. It, like you can hear the I sound in Mamaria. But sometimes, most of the times, in some instance, sometimes I get my syllables mixed up. Sometimes I can look at a certain word that I've never seen before and I can say it. And I say, well, it paid off from trying to break the words down. So I'm in even when I read now, I just try to just sound each letter out in what I'm reading. You know what I mean? And it helps me a great deal because when I look at all the I's, no matter what word it is, and then you sound the I out in all the words to me, and it pretty much tell you what the word is when you break it down like that. You know what I'm saying? But I said all of that to say this here too. I had a hard life, and I know I said that already. Even now, as I speak, I'm still, living with, in a single parent household, and you rarely find this in the Black community. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I mean? That a 47-year-old, no car, no house, none of that. You know what I mean? Don't own none of that. Doesn't know anything about too much about business or anything like that. I think what happened with that is that I said, you know what, I'm not gonna hang with the wrong crowd. And when I said that, it put me in, I guess I didn't know that I would put myself in a lonely position, but it ended up making me put me in a position to where I got immune to being lonely, but it's not like, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be sociable. It just means that I would have to break the habit or break that habit, because you can condition yourself to like something, or you can condition yourself as to hate it. That's how life works. That's how it works. So I did learn how to read and write. Like I said, the first thing that I learned how to read was the Bible. And then it went to other books, the bigger books. You know, I got them in a lot of the books in there in my room. Matter of fact, let me take a moment and just show you. These are hardback books, but it's a miracle. I learned how to read all of these books here. And this is a big hardback book with over 400 pages in it. Oh, probably over that. Hold on, let me look. Let me work this. Let's see. It's got 399 pages, and then they got the concordance where you can go back here and you can look up what you want to read. You know, like if I want to read something on Balaam, that's dealing with God in the Bible. It said results in strong inputs to Protestant case in 109, Balaam 112, 313. So let's go 109. Let's go to page, let's see, 108. Let's see if I'm just showing y'all an example. 101, let's see, 102, 20, 109. Let's see here. I think I said 109. 209. I'm looking for 109. 205, 206, 207, 208. Let's see here. 209, like page 209. Here it is right here. Hold on. Let's see what it's talking about. 209. It says, the disappointment also through the results of their own misapprehensions of the messages, which they gave ways to be overruled for good. It would last the hearts of those who had professed to receive the warning. In the face of their disappointment, would they rushly give up their experiences and cast away their confidence in God's word, or would they in prayer, humility, seek to discern where they had failed to comprehend the significance of the prophecy? Okay, that was going into comprehending and stuff. Now, I was just showing y'all something. That's all I wanted. I wasn't gonna sit there and just do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show y'all how the Most High, He blessed me to be able to go to what I was reading, because I didn't know how to read any of that stuff. So what I did, I asked through the help of my family members, my cousins, and all of them. That's how I actually learned how to read and, you know, and comprehend certain things. Now we have the internet. Now, when I started out learning how to reading and stuff like that, this was way before social media. I didn't even know anything. I didn't even know what a social media was. You see what I'm saying? But when I couldn't read something, I would get my family members or my brothers or my sister or if my cousin was around, because not everybody was willing to do it or to help me like that. So I just went to the ones that I felt like I can get the help, you know, right away. You know what I mean? And I knew that my mother, I used to get her to help me a lot, but by her eyesight being bad and her eyesight got full to where she couldn't, you know, her eyesight got kind of bad. She has an eye disease called glaucoma. You know what I'm saying? So she couldn't really read nothing too long to me and put it on. You know what I mean? She only read a little bit. I would have her to tape and put a little bit on a tape, and I would sit there and rehearse what she read on the tape, the little bit that she put on there. You know, because she can only read a few lines at a time. So I accepted that, you know, because I couldn't do it. And so it helped me, you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, you know, she didn't, a lot of people didn't feel up to doing it or something like that. So I had to like kind of wait, you know what I mean? But I pushed myself and I didn't give up, you know what I mean? I kept going until I actually learned how to not only just read something, but comprehend what I was reading. Because if you're not comprehending or you don't understand what you're reading, it's just like you're not reading, because you can't really, you still lost. You still lost in the sauce. So now I know how to go to the certain books and look up the concordance. Concordance means when you want to look up the breakdown of it, you know what I mean? To get the understanding, like a commentary or something, like what I just showed you. Those what I just call that. You go and you get scripture, or you get page references to what is this talking about, and once you, and then it gives you the number, page 109, 108, or whatever. It gives you the idea of what you think of the breakdown of what's taking place, of what went on. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully this video is helpful to somebody out there. This video is only for educational purposes, and this and that and the third. Sometimes it was a hurting thing to, it's a hurting thing to get rejected. You know what I mean? I don't like, me personally, nobody likes rejection. I'm one of them. I definitely don't like it. But you know, I had to deal with it, you know what I mean? And we just go through a whole lot to where, you know, you just have no, it's just, it wasn't easy. I'll say it like that, you know, not being able to, or knowing how to communicate with my people and stuff, not having the skills of knowing how to actually communicate with my own people. It was really hard for me, and you can pretty much tell by the way I'm talking right now. Yeah, it's really been hard, and I think this is the first video that I ever did in a quite a while. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come. If y'all felt that I left off or left out something, y'all can feel free to let me know in the comment section. What would you like for me to be more honest on, or what I didn't touch on that you would like for me to touch on in this video? Please feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to come back and you know, do a comeback this video of what I was saying and add to it. You know what I mean? If it's something that you felt I left out, or anybody felt I left out, but it's been hard, you know. So I'm trying to think and see, is there anything else that I would like to say before I close this video out? If not, what I'll do, I'll just come back and I'll just, if I can think of anything else that I feel that I left out that would be beneficial for this video, I'll just come back and upload it in a second video, record another live, and we'll talk about it from there. Make sure you put your notification bells on. Make sure that you hit the notification bell twice. Make sure you, when you subscribe, that means that you won't get the notification just subscribe. You got to hit the bell not only one time, but you got to hit that bell twice so it'll show up. You'll get all notifications whenever I go live or whenever I post a video. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully that's it for right now. And I'll see y'all later in the next live. Peace and love to my people of color. And I'll see y'all in the next live. Peace. I'm out.